Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the San Francisco 49ers and the Chicago Bears. With that, let's get out to venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Standing by with the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Just off Lakeshore Drive, nestled next to Lake Michigan, that's where you find historic Soldier Field in the great city of Chicago, Illinois. Just a short time ago, this crowd loud enough to shake the foundations of this nearly century-old building. They are ready for football indeed in Chicago as their guys get set to do battle with the San Francisco 49ers. Brandon Godden alongside Charles Davis. Before kickoff, Charles, quickly your keys to the game.
Well, partner, I could give you the standard ones, turnovers, special teams play. But here's one that doesn't get talked about much anymore, and that's time of possession. Whoever controls the football, gives their defense a break, and takes care of business, that's the team that's going to win this ball game.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. And they're led out by a guy who learned from one of the great ones in his first few years in Tom Brady. This is Jimmy Garoppolo.
When you're a backup to one of the all-time great players, if you don't spend time picking that guy's brain or just watching and observing how he does things to increase your game, then you've wasted that time. I don't think Jimmy Garoppolo is that type of a player. I think those lessons learned have a chance to transmit themselves very well.
And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
Good job, D. Good job.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, it's Coleman. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. Leonard Floyd, the old Georgia Bulldog, finding his way into the backfield.
There's a little bit of defense right there. Nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They just snuffed out every route that was going. Quarterback never got rid of the football.
So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. Back deep, Tariq Cohen. Just a yard return there after a punt of 49. And out will come the offense as they take over. So here now the Bears offense for their first drive of the game. They'll be led out by their quarterback who grew up just outside of Cleveland on Lake Erie, Mitchell Trubisky. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. Off the play fake, here's Trubisky. Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down.
Woo, that's what I'm talking about.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. From the gun, a give to Davis. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. And now a look at the offense for Chicago.
And the play of this offensive line is going to be so important in this game because we saw the sack a minute or so ago. They've got to be able to give their guy time to throw. That means communication and being physical is vital. Otherwise, this could be a long game.
49ers have an extra defensive back on the field. A nickel set for 3rd down. Now it's Trubisky. And he completes it to Cohen. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. Back deep, Trent Taylor. Fielded at about the 28. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for. Boy, you go 3 and out on your first drive, and that's not the way you want to start this drive either. Doesn't seem like they're really into it just yet.
No, first 4 plays, you don't want to call it a disaster, but not looking very sharp. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Throwing now is Garoppolo. And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a 1st down, 49ers.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Here we go.
From midfield, here's Garoppolo. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. He'll get 17 on that one, and the Niners have a 1st down. We're scoreless after 1. The 49ers with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter as they've got it with a 1st and 10. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll run with Coleman on 1st down. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
58, right over there, right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there.
Garoppolo going to hand this one to Coleman. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a 1st down due to the previous penalty.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
From the 30 on second down, Garoppolo. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 20-yard line.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And incomplete. Kyle Fuller there defensively. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
Here we go.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And he's got it. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Here we go. 180! All day, every day, any day.
Garoppolo. And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Marquise Goodwin there to make the grab as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. Gold with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This fielded at the 2.
That's it, baby. We're going to work.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
A little bit of space there for the first down run, as that's going to get him about 5 yards. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Two minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game.
Come on, 180!
A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. He'll try and run it. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's third down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. Now Trubisky. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Don't say nothing.
Here's Trubisky. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He was trying to hit Taylor Gabriel that time, but it's going to be second down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over, then they get a chance to continue their drive.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Trubisky will throw. Now Trubisky lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So third down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. Now it's Trubisky. That's complete to the Memphis man, Anthony Miller. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Here we go.
Looking to throw Trubisky on first down. This is caught. 25 yards that time.
Let's go. Let's do this.
They come out here in the eye. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up first and goal. They'll run with Davis. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Only a yard on the pickup there. Second and goal.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Check 56. Hey.
On second and goal, Trubisky toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. The San Francisco defense trying to hold tough again. This is 3rd and goal. Throwing here, Trubisky. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Taylor Gabriel in the final seconds of the first half, as they are now on the board here in the first half.
I don't think it's any state secret to know what they were saying before the start of this drive. Let's go and punch one in the end zone and go into the halftime feeling a heck of a lot better about ourselves. Let's go get this done.
Yeah, tie things up, and then you get a brand new ball game. Eddie Pinheiro now for the extra point. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. A 10-play drive that time, and it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Here we go, here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Time here for likely one play, and then these two teams will head to the locker room all even.
And you know the play caller's just feeling it right now. Let's go ahead and go for this one. A big shot downfield. Nope. Guarantee the head coach is like, don't get crazy. Take the knee. Let's get out of here. Tie game. We'll just start all over.
We thought this one would be a close battle coming in, and we have not been disappointed. But they are all even to this point. So to see if either side can pull away, let's get you right back out to Brandon and Charles for the start of the second half.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Set and ready to go for the second half. One touchdown apiece, 7-7 our score. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. This is Cullen, and he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Check right.
They try again with Cullen. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
On 3rd down, Trubisky. And this is going to be incomplete. So a stop here defensively to start this third quarter. Just what's needed in a tie ball game.
Yeah, good chance to build back some momentum on the defensive side of the ball. In fact, what they've done is give their offense a nice push in the back as they get ready to take the field.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now. as he'll punt it away for the second time. Taylor now returning it. 51 yards on the punt there. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they...
Play fake there to Coleman. Now Garoppolo. Oh, going deep here for Taylor. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now.
What has not been the best game for him, but he definitely tried to get by with a little help from his friend there, trying to create a big play.
Here we go.
Couldn't do it, fell incomplete. But you're right, hasn't been a banner game here in the second half, just trying to get going.
Big thing is trying to keep confidence up and continue to fire.
Man open, it's Goodwin. And across the chalk, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. Marquise Goodwin, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the 49ers have now taken the lead.
I know we often laugh and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His 2nd touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. Gold to add the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
A first down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up. There to stop him on the defensive side, Fred Warner.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield. and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Oh, I can't hang on to it. Almost intercepted. They would have loved a first pick of the game there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Chicago. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. We'll call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll be a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Now a give right side, Coleman. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Here we go. 180! 59, Mike to 59. Too little, cut.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. And able to haul it in is Kittle. That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. Back now at Soldier Field. It's 49er football here. They've got the lead as well as we get set to start the 4th and final quarter.
Here we go. 180! Watch the slant. Watch the slant.
There's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Play action. Garoppolo. And his throw is incomplete. The intended receiver, Marquise Goodwin, and it's 3rd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. The Niners on 3rd down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. Here's Garoppolo to throw. Open man is Pettis. It's complete. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. Big hook up there. Forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
Here we go.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Inside the red zone, it's Garoppolo. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Garoppolo again. That is caught by the tight end, Kittle. Touchdown, 49ers. 3 touchdown passes now for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. And he's such a talented tight end, just creates nightmarish-type matchups on the other side.
He's so good that when we say tight end, we're almost damning him with faint praise, aren't we? Because he can do it all. He's as good as any receiver in the NFL.
Well, that's the deal. He's a wide receiver, just in a bigger body.
Bigger body, a matchup nightmare, and who's going to cover him? When I sit in the film session, I just look at the coach and say, really? Really? You going to yell at me? You go cover him.
Gold able to tack on the extra point, and it's now 21-7. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go.
And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. A run there on first down and a pretty good one at 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Right there, 56.
2nd and 5 now. Trubisky. Open man is Trey Burton. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. And right now, defensively, you love that, don't you? I mean, you'll give them that play.
And they'll take it every single time. This is almost like nickeling and diming it downfield, and too much time's going to run off the clock.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Here's Trubisky to throw, and this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. Now, I do know a few guys are going to think to themselves, held him to 7. If we'd made one more play, could have had our shutout.
The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
Now, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them, every move they make works, it clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Get off the field.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down.
Here we go.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. This is Coleman. And an alley to run. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
Let's go, boys.
Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
65.
Right back to Coleman here on 1st down. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground.
Here we go.
So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. Well, Garoppolo's going to throw it. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This to make it a 3-score game late. And that is no good. Oh, he missed it just wide of the upright, and this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. What do you do here down like this in this situation? Do you maybe just pick something out of the playbook you haven't called in a while, or you call it a day?
You can do that, or you pick something that's a staple for you and should work better and try and execute that on the way out the door and maybe get back to base and feel a little bit better as you end a ball game that's been a frustrating one for you.
And we'll see if they go back to base. So the victory here for San Francisco, and it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Soldier Field.